Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys, and I am here to talk about the season premiere or the episode premiere of Stargirl, the newest DC TV show on the CW network. And other than that, that's really here gonna talk about. I'm talking about episode 1. And yeah, but before I talk about episode 1, I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent real quick. But if you guys don't know, or if you didn't hear, if you should have heard the news, I think by like the afternoon or sometime, you know, in the evening, around that time, um, we get the confirmation that Ruby Rose, the main lead and or the woman who played Batwoman, is no longer going to be playing Batwoman anymore. She just upped and left. Nobody knows. Well, to my knowledge, nobody knows why she left the show, or why she's leaving. My only thoughts is it could be because of, I guess, the critiques she got personally on her character and herself, and her acting. I think that could be a reason. There could be other factors. Who knows? Maybe as time will pass, we'll find out more leading reasons to why she left. She did give a statement on why. She did give a statement that she is leaving, but she didn't go in depth to why she's really leaving. She just gave you a generic, good PR statement. Like, I'm leaving because of, something, something. But yeah, she's going to be leaving, and essentially the Batwoman TV show will have to find a new main lead, because it's never been done. Well, it's never been done, in the Arrowverse, where the main lead of a character just kind of leaves. Now, it is going to be awkward and strange after a while, and we're going to be anxious to see who will be the new Batwoman, but for what I saw of Ruby Rose on Batwoman, if you didn't check out my Batwoman review of season 1, I thought season 1 was decent. It wasn't the best, season, and it wasn't, the worst. It was pretty decent, in my opinion. Like, every season 1 of a show isn't gonna be, balls to the wall, knock your socks off, you had to give it some time to grow. I thought it was a decent season. I think people who do not like Batwoman, I think they're just trashing it because of the whole things, whole things, and they try to put the SJW stuff and a propaganda, which people I think bring to the motion. I think you shouldn't really focus on that when it comes to a show. The types of propaganda they put into something, unless it's like overabundance of it. I didn't feel like they put too much into it. In my opinion, I thought it was fine. So for the people who were, I guess, ripping the show apart, I'm like, you're entitled to your own opinion, but it wasn't that bad of a show. Maybe sometimes here and there was the writing a little bit bad. Yes, it was, but it wasn't something overbearing. Like the friggin' season finale, yesterday night, it was actually pretty good, and it hypes up for season 2. So, and then I guess the last thing I'm here to talk about regarding this thing is, I guess, the people who are just on social media, and I guess the people who are, I guess, one on one, you could say, haters of Ruby Rose and did not like the performance to the point they would actually, like, I guess, ridicule her acting skills and stuff like that. Um, I did see a tweet earlier from the standpoint that somebody did say, like, she did go through depression in the past, almost to the point she almost actually killed herself. So, to the people who are saying all these hurtful things and stuff like that, listen, I think you guys really need to rethink your lives, because you wouldn't want to be critiqued to the point where someone's actually saying you shouldn't work in the acting business no more. And even today, I did see some tweets today saying, like, thank God she's gone. The show was terrible. She was terrible. It's just horrible stuff. And the fact that there's people out there that actually say stuff like that, you gotta go outside. Well, no, don't go outside, especially in this time and day. But go look yourself in the mirror and go see, the person who you truly are. I just hate people that just hate on other people for no reason. Look, I'm fine with you critiquing Ruby Rose's performance, but critique it respectfully and critique it on the base of her character. Don't, lash totally out on the person herself, and stuff like that. So that's only my only thing I got to say about that. And then I just also want to say, I guess to Ruby Rose, thank you for being Batwoman for a season. I thought you were pretty good, you know, for what you did. Obviously, it looked like you struggled a bit, but you were new to this thing, and I thought, personally, in my opinion, by the season finale, you look like you had the role down, and you look like you're ready to do great things with it. It sucks that it won't happen. We won't see season two with her, but to whoever will be the replacement, hopefully they do a good job. And obviously, they're gonna have big shoes to fill, and they're gonna have a huge viewership watching them. Despite people hating on the show, because like I said, like if you hate it so much, don't watch it, but you keep coming back. But yeah, that's all I got to say for that. So I guess I can say to people who are saying all those rude and mean things to her and still are saying all that, thank God she's gone. You guys can just really, I'm sorry, but you can leave a dislike in the video or put whatever you want to say in the comment section. Personally, F off. If you're going to be like that, then like I said, you really need to go look yourself in the mirror, because the fact that you're actually actively going to just trash her and say she was terrible actor. Not every actor is good, but you shouldn't say you shouldn't say all these derogatory terms about them. But anyways, that was my little tangent for like the past 7 minutes I just talked about regarding to Ruby Rose. But we're here to talk about Stargirl. Anyways, we're here to talk about Stargirl episode one, and which I thought was a really good season premiere, and really good episode premiere. So Stargirl stars are the main lead is Brec Bassinger. If you don't know who she is, I actually looked up her name and her title and other things she did. She was in the former Nickelodeon show Bella and the Bulldogs. If you guys have ever heard of that show, so if you're wondering where is she like just a brand new actor or has she done other roles? Yeah, she's done other roles. That's the only I think that's the one of the biggest shows she was on, and she was like the main character of that show. I remember watching that show when I was younger, a few years. It didn't really intrigue me. I just tuned in and out, but yeah, that's where she was, and I thought Brec Bassinger in this episode was good. She portrays the main lead character, Courtney. I thought she has a lot of charisma. She brings a lot of excitement to the show. And I think she's just like, that breath of fresh air. Like, she's someone like my age. Well, her real age is like someone near my age, which is 21, but she's 20. She's a year younger than me. Um, but she brings a breath of fresh air. I liked her performance, and I thought she good, and I can't wait for future weeks to see what she can do in this in this role, because I thought she was really good. So yeah, other than that, we're gonna talk about the episode. I'm gonna talk about the different plot points and the story overall of the episode, and then just give my thoughts on it, each of the plot points and stuff like that. So other than that, the first part of the episode starts off with a monologue talking about like there was this golden age of heroes, and then 10 years ago it ended. So then we cut to this guy driving this car who we later find out is Pat, and essentially he is radioing Starman, and Starman are fighting these villains in this mansion. They mentioned some of the villains' name. The only one I caught the most is probably the villain who showed up at the end of this episode, which is Brainwave. And essentially, they're fighting, and all the other, Justice Society members, they're essentially getting beat one by one. And Starman's fighting almost half of those villains off. And then essentially, he gets hit with this dagger, and then, Pat is in there too. Pat helps Starman get out of there. They drive in their car. There was this one guy. I believe they said Grundy. I don't know if that's Solomon Grundy, but they said Grundy from what I believe. I couldn't hear really, good, because I think there was like something in the background, where I was at. while this was playing. I think they said Grundy. So Grundy kind of hits them. They get away, but Starman essentially, dies. But but before he dies, he tells, Pat over and over, you're not the user, but someone will be a user, will be able to wield the staff, um, or the cosmic staff. And essentially, he is given the staff to Pat so he can pass on to the next generation, so the Justice Society can live on. And he, like I said earlier, he wants the power to be passed on to someone else. Now we cut. Now it does cut to a younger Courtney with her mom, and I think her cousin Mary. I don't know. I think it was her cousin or her friend Mary. And essentially, it's like Christmas Eve, and essentially they're waiting for her dad and stuff like that. And Courtney's waiting for her dad, and obviously she looks sad, but the mom eventually leaves to go to work and stuff like that. So yeah. Now she did leave. Now she was left a present from her dad. So yeah, and then it cuts to the present day, and in the present day we see an older version of Courtney played, like I said, by Brec Bassinger. And we find out that she is moving with Pat to Nebraska because Pat and her mom actually hooked up. We see Pat has a son named, I think his name was Mark. I Sorry, I should have got that down. It was Mark. So they eventually drive all the way from California to Nebraska, which, God, I trust me. On my college field trips, or my college, visits, I drove. Well, my family drove from California to New Mexico, and man, when I tell you those long car drives from one state to another state are long, holy crap! I do not like driving from state to state. I will just tell you that. I'd rather take a plane than drive, from a state to another state. So yeah, we obviously see that Courtney does not like Pat, and the mom's like, "Come on, you just got to give him a chance." And Courtney's like, "I'm not gonna give this guy a chance. He's just trying to pretend to be my dad when he's really not my dad." So yeah. Eventually they show like a little car trip, just some, they do pass bys of like some stops, places they stop at or places they drive past, and eventually they end up in Blue Valley, Nebraska, which is going to be the little town they live in. So yeah, they get comfortable and stuff like that. And then there was a clip on the CW YouTube page, but they show the clip where the moving guys are trying to move the Starman stuff out, and Pat's like, whoa, 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 be gentle with that. I'll carry that myself. I'll take care of it. Now Courtney looks a little strange, like why is he acting like that? But think times pass and stuff like that, and then eventually you see that Courtney goes to school, to I believe this high school, and essentially she's trying to make new friends, and she comes across this one table at lunch, and she meets these three other people. One person's named Beth. We don't get the other two people's names mentioned, but there was this one guy who later walks off because Beth actually mentions the fact, she's like, yeah, this is the table where essentially we're the outcasts are. We're essentially where you have your little, I guess, people who don't really officiate with others, and people who the majority of a school would say, oh, that's the weird group over there. There was one dude, like the one dude who walked off, and then there was this one chick, and there was this guy in a varsity jacket. This, I guess you could say, in other words, of a jock sports player. He comes in and he kind of like, I'm guessing, like just makes fun of the girl at the table. And Courtney stands up for the girl. She gets in the way and she's like, yo, leave the dude alone. And she kind of pushes him away. And then, the dude being pushed away runs into, I guess, the lunch lady. And the lunch lady spills everything over, like, spills everything on him and a little bit over on the ground and stuff like that. And then the dude's like, you're going to pay for that. And then I guess either the proctor or some school official shows up and takes Courtney away, and I guess she got in trouble for that. I don't know why she was the one that got in trouble for it. It should have been the dude who got in trouble with it, who caused the whole incident. And yeah, and it was pretty effed up. There was, I guess, there was this one chick who's like, "That's my boyfriend," and called her the B word. And what I found funny is like, "Hey, watch your language," and stuff like that. So yeah, so then it cuts back to Courtney's house, and essentially the parents, Pat and her mom, ask, how Courtney and Mark, how their days went. Mark seems like he had one of the best, first days of school ever. He met new friends, and he's going to go over to his friend's house to go play Fortnite. I'm like, is Fortnite even a thing still? Yo, it's Fortnite is a thing, but I'm like, it would have been much better if they said, Mitch, I'm gonna go. Can I go over to my friend's house to play like Call of Duty Warzone, because that's the newest hit game, our newest hit free to play, battle royale game. But okay, Fortnite will do. I don't know when I don't know when this show was filmed, but if it was filmed, then of course Fortnite was the big battle royale game back that still during the time. It still is big. I don't play Fortnite. I play Warzone personally, but yeah. So essentially they talk to Courtney how her day went, and Pat tries to, be, a good stepfather by just wanting to ask to see what's in his stepdaughter's life and what's going on. She just walks off and she's like, "Stop trying to so hard to be my dad because you're not my dad." So she goes down to the basement area, and essentially she kicks over this box, that has the name Pad, which I found funny for some reason. I'm like, oh, so you hate your stepdad so much, you're just gonna kick a box of his personal stuff? Yeah, like that's gonna do anything, Courtney. I found that funny though. But because she did that, she finds these picture sets, and she sees this one picture of um Pat. Like I guess he went fishing and he caught these two fish, and she called him like, he's stupid. And then all of a sudden she unravels, and then she takes a picture out, and then she sees a picture of the Justice Society of America. Now I don't know any of the other heroes in the Justice Society of America, but the one character, which I guess you can say is an Easter egg for what you can say, that ties into another CW show, is we saw Jay Garrick, the Flash, in the Justice League Society picture. Obviously, we saw him with the lightning bolt on his thing, and then the tin hat. So I guess you can say that's a little tidbit to the Flash DC TV show. So will there be a possibility we get a crossover of maybe Stargirl and Flash in the future? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know if this DC. I don't know if Stargirl's connected to the Arrowverse. And if she is, please put it in the comment section. I think like Black Lightning, she's gonna be her own thing at first, and maybe if they do more crossovers in the future, they might implement her into the Arrowverse. So we'll see where that goes. So then she sees this picture, and then she sees, Starman. Eventually, she takes out the little long wooden board where it's holding the cosmic staff, because the cosmic staff's starting to light up, and essentially she grabs it. It kind of resonates with her and starts dragging her. It goes in a commercial break, and then it cuts back to the episode, and she gets taken to this park, or the staff literally drags her to this park, and then eventually she starts doing these tricks on, because she's a gymnast too, because her mom brings up the fact that you tried for the gym team and stuff like that. So she's obviously, we find out, she's a very athletic girl. Um, so she's doing these tricks, like she's like jumping on the, staff, and the staff is like hanging like, a pole on a flagpole or something like that, and she's like jumping around like she's Spider Man. Essentially, like there's this one position she's just holding the staff with one arm, and she's just looking down like that, and I'm like, man, that's like a shot what something Spider Man would do. Um, then it cuts back to the house, and Pat finds out that the staff is gone. So we cut back to what Courtney's on her little journey is doing, and she runs into this drive-in movie theater, which, I personally think that, especially in this time of need, if they're talking about movies, they really should just open up drive-in movie theaters, because then you can just, stay in your car. It's essentially social distancing, really. You're just in your car and you're just watching the movie on the big screen in your car. Windows would be up. Obvious windows would probably, well, some windows would be down, some windows would be up. All I see is, you'd be social distancing. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe drive-in movies can be open. So yeah, you just probably have to bring your own popcorn though. So she runs into the, like I said, she runs into the drive-in movie theaters, and she sees the bullies from school that bullied Beth, or the one girl, at the table at school. She essentially goes over there. She uses the staff to, you know, put a little holes in the car, and then the bullies find out like, yo, someone's messing with your car. And then this is where she gets into a fight with the bullies. Now she is masked, so no one sees who she really is. And she's wearing a hoodie on, and essentially she kicks these guys ever living ass with the staff, and the staff technically is doing all the work for her. But it's funny, and then it caps off with the fact that she essentially fires this energy blast because I think this one dude's like, I'm gonna kill. The one dude's like, I'm gonna kill you, and all of a sudden the staff shoots an energy beam, and then the dude dodges. I'm like, whoa, funny coincidence, because you were probably about to die if you got hit by that. And then essentially it hits the car and blows the car up. And then the guy, the bully who we saw earlier in the episode, was like, my dad's gonna kill me. Now, just one tidbit I gotta mention. So this is at a drive-in movie theater. One, where was anybody else like turning their head saying like, why is there an explosion here at this movie theater? And second of all, why weren't the cops even alerted about this? Well, they probably were alerted about this, but my only question is, they just cut to the scene of the car blowing up, and then they don't cut to anybody else like looking around like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's like everybody's just watching the movie and they're like, what's that noise? Oh, it's nothing, whatever. I did find that a little strange. They could have cut to a few people like turning their heads like, why is that car blown up and stuff like that. They only showed like 2 civilians in this one car, and that's who the bullies were ragdolling and stuff like that. So yeah, so she gets back from her little adventures, and she's gonna put the staff back in the box, back in the basement. But then Pat finds out that she took the staff and things like that. Now Pat's like, "What are you doing? This is what you're doing is very dangerous, and I don't know what you're doing." Now Pat touches the staff. Now when Courtney touches the staff lights up, and it's all golden and bright and stuff. But when Pat touches this cosmic staff, it just fades to like no power, because obviously Starman told him like, it's not you who can wield the power. Now Courtney does some thing, and she's like, because Pat's like, yeah, he died, Starman died like 10 years ago. So Courtney does some thinking, and she's like, wait, Starman, the fact that I can use a staff, what if Starman is my actual dad, my father, and that's the reason why I'm able to use the staff, which honestly makes the most nonsensical sense, that it will only make sense that the future daughter, or the daughter or the son of Starman, would be able to use the staff's power, because that would be next in line to be the next superhero. Now Pat doesn't end up believing. He's like, listen, what's your dad's name? And I forgot what Courtney says the dad's name is, but Pat's like, Starman's real name was Sylvester, and that's not your dad. Even though Courtney has like this like little keychain, a little small picture of her dad on a keychain, and the freaking pictures match up exactly the same, and it shows that these two people look like they could be one and the same people, and they're exactly the same thing. I personally believe, I think Stargirl, I think Courtney's dad was Starman, and that's the reason why he's been gone for so long, because he ended up dying that night. Now Courtney goes up to her mom, because she's like, well, obviously mom has to know. My mom has to know. And the mom's like, your dad like left and never saw us again, essentially, and stuff like that. So then she goes back down, and then she eventually finds Pat on the porch, and essentially they have a little talk, and they're saying like, look, who knows if this could be your dad, but I don't think this is your dad, and stuff like that. And they go into a conversation of how Pat was a sidekick to Starman, and he was called Stripes and stuff like that. And essentially, they have a little deal that if you know, Courtney's like, well, since you make my mom happy and you make her feel all this sorts of way about you and stuff like that, I won't tell the secret to her to, I guess, for some reason, I guess, get her pissed off. I don't know why she would be pissed off. It'd be like, oh, you worked with a superhero? Cool. If that was me, that's how I would act. I'd be like, oh, okay, your secret's safe with me. Um, stuff like that. And they make the little deal, and Pat's like, okay, that's fine, and then he's like, well, that was a good talk. It seems like we're so obviously it seems like this season they're gonna build the Courtney Pat relationship a lot to from the point where Courtney doesn't like him at first, but I think by the time the season ends, she'll start to grow on him and or she'll start to accept him more as I guess a fatherly figure who's there for her and stuff like that. So then it cuts to the bully and his place, and he seems to be a rich person. And we see his dad, and he's talking, and his dad brings up the fact like, oh, this person had the staff. What was the staff like? And the bully brings up like, oh, yada yada yada, stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about the car. He's like, look, I don't care about the car. We can talk about this later. We later come to find out that the dude, it was Brainwave from the flashback scene. I believe that was Brainwave. So he gets his suit ready and everything. Then the last few minutes of the episode, the staff actually flies into Courtney's room. Courtney screams, her mom comes in, and then she kind of tells, I guess you could say, a little white lie, saying that, oh yeah, I'm actually going to really try to be a better stepdaughter for Pat, even though I don't think she wants to at first. I think that's a little white lie, but I digress. The staff and her eventually go out to, I guess, the town area. She starts training with the staff. She's like learning to like fly on it, like a surfboard, ride on it, do all these nifty techniques and stuff like that with the flag and well, not the flag, the staff. And essentially she's flying with the staff, and essentially these tires coming out of nowhere hit her. Um, we later come to find out that Brainwave, is attacking her, and he asks like, "How'd you get that staff?" Yada yada yada. Asking her all these questions like, why do you have the staff? How did you get the staff? Who gave you the staff? And then he mentions the fact like, why are you thinking of your father right now? Um, Now he doesn't say indirectly who the father is. He just said, why are you thinking about your father? She later hits him back with the staff, and then essentially she gets away. And when it looks like all hope is lost, and she could possibly be in much more trouble, or this one robot shows up out of nowhere, and it's like, oh crap! I'm like, did this guy just get a mech suit now? And one, the mech suit looks like the Iron Giant second thing, but we later come to find out it's Pat, and he's like, I told you to leave the staff alone. So, and then that's when the episode ends, and I guess we're on a kind of cliffhanger to what's going to happen next. So yeah, they don't really show a next episode preview. They just kind of show an overview of what we're going to get this season. Like all the reviews were saying, oh, this is one of the best shows to date. Stuff like that. All that stuff. But for a season premiere of the episode, I thought it was really good. I liked it. Brec Bassinger as Courtney was really good. She portrayed the character really good. She portrayed, the whole, ideal of having a step, father or step, parent, pretty well. And I like the fact that, she looked like she got very excited when, she pertained to doing the Stargirl stuff. So, for this, I thought it was a good episode, and I give it, an 8 out of 10 as my rating for this episode, and it was really good. I do like the actor that plays Pat. He is pretty funny. Um, you know, I think he's obviously gonna be the sidekick, and I guess helping her along become a better hero and stuff like that. So yeah, and I can't wait to see much more of the series. I actually after the episode, and I'm like, man, it's over. I actually want to see more of this because this is actually pretty good. So yeah, but like I said, congrats to Brec Bassinger for getting the role, and I thought she did a good job. And I can't wait to look forward to the rest of what she can do in this role. Because all I can say, even the suit looks really cool. The Stargirl suit looks really cool. So yeah, other than that, that's all I gotta say about this episode. So if you like this video, leave a like. And if you want to put a comment regarding whether I talked about the Ruby Rose situation early in the first 7 minutes of the episode, as well as talking about the Stargirl episode and your thoughts on the Stargirl episode, please put that in the comment section. And then also hit that subscribe button to get more CW DC TV show content that I do. I have to make my Arrow, Supergirl, and Black Lightning season reviews still. Supergirl was actually supposed to be going up today, but I was too lazy to make that video and make it up today. But those will be coming, in the next few days. And then also subscribe if you want to see more Stargirl content. I think after seeing that episode, I think I'm gonna make this, a weekly, show review. Mostly because I don't have anything else going on the channel other than, me reviewing, my animes and stuff. Right now the series anime I'm reviewing is Fairy Tail, but other than that, that's really it. So yeah, so that's all I gotta say. So yeah, other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a great night and enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, whenever you're seeing this video. So till then, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.